organisation called Blue Beyond, which I set up about a year ago. And what my attempt is to try and shift focus away from youth politics in London, make sure that everybody gets fair access to the Conservative Party and politics, no matter where they live or in which country of the Union they reside in. But you're not here to listen to me, and you're not here to listen to me bleat on about Blue Beyond. You're here for our fantastic pub quiz, also for our fabulous pub quiz host. We are very lucky to have her. She was born in 1993 in Sheffield, and she's one of the youngest MPs in the latest Parliament. Into a stonemason and a nursery nurse, she grew up in Sheffield, as I said earlier, which is where she went to college, and then she bagged herself a place on a famous BPLS course at the University of Hull. She ends meet by doing shifts at Pizza Hut and at places like betting shops and various other establishments. She then went on to work for the esteemed Jacob Rees-Mogg MP. She then got a job as a research analyst and continued to campaign for the Conservative Party for many years. I soon fell on her to see if she could be the first ever Conservative Party MP for Bishop Auckland, first since the constituency was created in 1885. 1,000 vote majority and 9.5% swing from the Labour Party to the Conservative Party. She did exactly that, and she was duly elected in the 2019 general election last year. Since then, she's been a fantastic local MP and dedicated campaigner, focusing on issues such as regional transport links, as well as also taking a stand on big national projects such as HS2. Without no further wait, I'd like to introduce to you the MP for Bishop Auckland, Dehenna Davison. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. I couldn't really resist doing some kind of grand entrance that was political themed. And thank you all for being with us this evening for the really exciting first ever Blue Beyond virtual pub quiz. So this evening, there are only two rules. The first rule is to make sure you enjoy yourself and have fun. But the second rule is absolutely no cheating. We have our spies watching you, so there will be no cheating from anyone. It's going to be a great night. We've got some really exciting and blooming difficult questions for you. So without further ado, we will get started. So I just want to make sure you guys are all ready. You're ready, you're chatting to your teams, you're in Zoom, and you've got absolutely everything that you need while I try and work my technology to pull up the questions. We're also this evening going to be joined by some other excellent MPs. We have Guy Opperman, the MP for Hexham, Rob Roberts, MP for Delyn. We have Chris Clarkson. We have Andy Carter, and we have more. And unfortunately, dear colleagues, I can't remember who else is on. So when you come on, you're going to have to give me a big old wave, and I will apologise later and buy you drinks when we're back in Parliament. We have 5 rounds of questions today. One is a picture round. And we also have some videos from some other colleagues who can't be with us this evening, but are really keen to support the cause, support Blue Beyond and the work that these incredible guys are doing. So before we start, I want to say a huge thank you to Luke and the entire team for getting this organised. And it is incredibly, incredibly exciting. So I'm pulling up my questions now to make sure I am totally in the loop. There we go. And if you're ready, we will start in 3, 2, 1. So our first round this evening is a round on film and television. So some of you at home, budding film and TV enthusiasts, I'm expecting big things from you. So straight away, question number 1. In the American adaptation of House of Cards, Frank Underwood becomes President of the United States after serving as a US representative for multiple terms. But what state did he represent? So question number 1, in the American adaptation of House of Cards, Frank Underwood became president after serving as a US representative for multiple terms, but which state did he represent? So I'm sure many of you have watched the series of House of Cards, absolutely cracking. If you haven't, advice from MP Davison is definitely get that on your Netflix viewing list because it is fantastic. We've got some donations coming in as well. We've got a £5 donation just come in from Keris. Thank you so much. All going towards our NHS and the battle to try and fight COVID-19. So thank you all, those of you that have contributed. We have a contribution from Val as well. Val, thank you so much. I'll give you a few more seconds and then we'll move on to question number 2. Okay, question number 2. Armando Iannucci is the comedic mind behind The Thick of It and other political satires. Name 3 other Armando Iannucci films or TV shows where he's credited as either director, writer, or producer. So to repeat that, Armando Iannucci is the comedic mind behind The Thick of It and other political satires. Name 3 other Armando Iannucci films or TV shows where he's credited as either director, writer, or producer. And this is another one while we're on isolation. If you are a young politico and you haven't seen The Thick of It, I have to ask, what are you doing with your life? It is one of the best shows around. You need to watch it. Great comedy value and really incredibly quotable. I won't repeat many of the quotes because they are quite sweary, but they definitely give you a good laugh. So, and also, I'm sorry to say, I've been joined by Carter this evening, who apparently is feeling very cuddly. So I'm sorry if he gives any trouble. He's got a great knack of knocking over my tripod at the moment. So hopefully he'll behave for a change. So I'll move on to question number 3. Nigel Hawthorne is best known for his portrayal of Sir Humphrey Appleby in the television series Yes Minister. But which British monarch did Hawthorne portray to earn him an Academy Award nomination? So question number 3. Nigel Hawthorne is best known for his portrayal of Sir Humphrey Appleby in the television series Yes Minister. But which British monarch did Hawthorne portray to earn him an Academy Award nomination? I must say, the guys who put together these quiz questions have got incredible taste in political TV, so I salute them. Yes Minister, always called a training ground for civil servants everywhere. So while you guys are answering that, I'm seeing some great comments coming in. We've got a great donation there from Chris Kirkham, donated £45. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm seeing loads of your comments here. I've got someone saying they're half Geordie. Hi, Serena, I see you. We've got Swansea number 1. Well, I'm a whole university lass, so obviously I'm going to have to declare an interest there and saying I'm a huge fan of the whole uni massive. And we will move on now to question number 4. In 2016, Samantha Cameron took to our screens in a charity version of one of the nation's favourite TV shows. What was that show? So to repeat that one, in 2016, Samantha Cameron took to our screens in a charity version of one of the nation's favourite TV shows. What was that show? A fantastic show, if I do say so myself. Oh God, I see some of the whole university gang on here. And someone's saying, can you please slow down? I will go a little bit slower for the next lot of questions. So Jack Hadfield has said, Dehenna, can you shout out the WAL lads or the WAL lads? Hello, big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. And shout out to Lancaster Uni Tories. Well, you guys gave me a great shout out on Instagram the other day. So here's one right back at you. Hello, Lancaster University. Okie dokies, we will move on to the next question, which is question number 5. So not my wording, but I do agree with it. Oscar award-winning pop goddess and living icon Cher began her career as part of the married duo Sonny and Cher. After their divorce, Sonny entered politics, running to be mayor and a Californian congressman before his death. So there are 2 points up for grabs in this question. The first is, which party did he represent? And the second is, where was he the mayor of? So once again, question number 5. Oscar award-winning pop goddess and living legend Cher began her career as part of the married duo Sonny and Cher. After their divorce, Sonny entered politics, running to be mayor and a Californian congressman before his death. So with 2 points up for grabs, the first is, 1, which party did Sonny represent? And secondly, where was he the mayor of? I am a huge Cher fan. So I should really have got some Cher clips, shouldn't I, really, to play in the background while you're answering this one. So who else have we got? We've got shout out to Oxford YC. Hello, Oxford YCs. Shout out to Oxford Uni Tories. Hello, guys. Marshall says share as an icon. Obviously correct. Trying to catch up with some of the comments, but there are so many. Shout out to Dehenna's Angels. Obviously, you guys, I can't have favourites, but you're definitely up there. And shout out to the MOG squad as well. Obviously, I used to work for Jacob. We love the MOG. Huge shout out to the MOG squad too. So we will move on now to question number 6. In 2016, Coronation Street Sally Metcalfe successfully ran to become councillor for her local ward. But which party did she represent? Was it A, Labour, B, Conservative, C, the Weatherfield People's Party, or D, Independence? So we'll go through that one again. In 2016, Coronation Street Sally Metcalfe successfully ran to become councillor for her local ward. But which party did she represent? A, Labour, B, Conservative, C, the Weatherfield People's Party, or D, Independence? Okay, and I want to just share some really exciting news with you guys. It's exciting for 2 reasons. One is the fact that we have hit £1,000 in donations going to the NHS COVID appeal. This is amazing. Thank you all so much. But the reason that becomes exciting is because one of the MPs who's on with us this evening, Rob Roberts, he claimed that if we raised £1,000, he would sing for us live during the MP's Q&A. So I'm very sorry to say you have that torment to endure later on. But Rob is great. So we'll be hearing Rob singing. And another update, we hit £1,000. We've gone beyond that. We've now hit £1,150, which is amazing. Thank you all so much. So we will move on to our next question, which is question number 7. The US show Saturday Night Live has been satirising politics and politicians since its very conception. Can you name 3 actors and the presidents they portrayed on the US show? So this one is about Saturday Night Live, which has been satirising politicians and politics since its conception. Name 3 actors and the presidents they portrayed on the US show Saturday Night Live. It's great. One of my favourites was not a president, so I'm not giving the game away, but was the great one that Kate McKinnon did with Elizabeth Warren, where they did the flip the switch challenge, which you might have seen on TikTok. That was absolutely fantastic. So guys, I know that we also said that anyone who donates more than £20 to us is going to get a shout out, and I've actually got a list of some of those people now. So really, to you guys, I just want to say a huge thank you. I mean, we all know how important this appeal is for really helping us to overcome this this pandemic, but also for supporting some of those NHS frontliners who are doing vital jobs to keep us all safe. So some of the big donations have come from some of the following, and I'll kind of drip these out as we go through. But firstly, a huge thanks to our very own Luke, who was one of the first to donate. So thank you very much, Luke. To Kieran Lee, to Adam Roberts and Dom Jackman. You guys are heroes. Thank you so much for contributing towards this. So whoever has just said Corbyn for PM, I'm not sure you're on the right channel here, but you know, he's had a couple of goes. We've managed to fight him off so far. Big up Michael Gove. That's one I can appreciate a little bit more. My gosh, there are so many comments coming from here. Robert has asked, where's the dog? The dog has gone for a run outside, I think, but I'm sure he'll be back before too long. So we will move on to question number 8. Black Mirror first hit our screens in 2011 and invited us into the unsettling world of Charlie Brooker. In 2015, however, the two worlds collided when Prime Minister David Cameron was alleged to have something in common with the Prime Minister from the very first episode of Black Mirror. What was the fictional Prime Minister's name? So we'll go through that one again. Black Mirror first hit our screens in 2011, inviting us into the unsettling world of Charlie Brooker. In 2015, however, the two worlds collided when Prime Minister David Cameron was alleged to have something in common with the Prime Minister from the very first episode of Black Mirror. What was the fictional Prime Minister's name from that first episode? So I see someone here has asked if we get to choose a song that Rob Roberts will sing. Well, I suggested this, but Rob apparently has one in mind. So you guys can look forward to that a little bit later on. So Lancaster Tories again. Come on, guys, you're getting greedy with your shout outs here. You can big up. We're bigging up Lancaster Tories. And shout out to James Frederickson. Yeah, I can completely agree with you guys on that one. He's an absolutely great guy. And a shout out to Mo Ali as well. Again, absolute hero is Mo Ali. I'm sure we'll see him back before too long. So we will now move on to question number 9. The 1955 film The Prisoner, starring Alec Guinness, sparked controversy and condemnation among Catholics and communists for its portrayal of a Catholic bishop being prosecuted by a totalitarian state. As a result, the film was banned from a world-famous film festival. Which film festival was it? Was it A, Sundance, B, Cannes, C, Toronto, or D, Venice? So we'll go through that one more time. The 1955 film The Prisoner, starring Alec Guinness, sparked controversy and condemnation among Catholics and communists for its portrayal of a Catholic bishop being prosecuted by a totalitarian state. As a result, the film was banned from a world-famous film festival. Which film festival was it? Was it A, Sundance, B, Cannes, C, Toronto, or D, Venice? So guys, don't forget to keep getting your donations in if you haven't already, because we're accepting them right the way through this. And if you do donate from any time now on to the end of the quiz, you will get a nice little pop-up on the screen so that everyone can see how wonderfully generous you are. So Marwan has asked for a shout out to Imperial College Conservatives. Welcome, Imperial. Thank you for being with us this evening. And also a shout out to the Green Tories, the British Conservation Alliance and Climate Tories. Thank you guys for the work that you're doing to kind of help move the climate agenda up the Conservative Party's manifesto and all that sort of thing. It's really vital work. Shout out Team Delightful. I could not get through the evening without doing that. Thank you so much, guys. And you say you've donated loads. Well, we will check that for ourselves. But honestly, thank you for your contributions and thank you for your kind of your vim and vigor online as well, which has been really appreciated. Someone's asked if these are real bricks. I should kind of keep an air of mystery, but no, it's wallpaper. Though I you know, the dream is a proper brick wall inside at some point. But okie dokies. And the final question of this section, question number 10. In the animated show The Simpsons, 2 US presidents move across the street from the Simpsons family. Who were those 2 presidents? Question number 10. In the animated show The Simpsons, 2 US presidents move across the street from the Simpsons family. Who were those 2 presidents? So guys, I just want to use this opportunity to thank some more of the people who have contributed towards our appeal this evening. So a huge shout out to Dom Jackman and to Rowan Salmon as well. Thank you guys so much. It's going to make a huge, huge difference. And I just think what a great opportunity for us to do this. Since we're all stuck at home, we're all stuck indoors, we get this chance to get together in whatever way we can, but also to do some good and raise money for a really vital charity. So thank you for being with us. Hi, Carter. The dog has returned, whoever asked. Just to prove it, here he is. So that is the end of round number 1. So someone said, shout out to the Queen Elizabeth Sixth Form Young Conservatives. Thank you guys. I love having sixth form groups with us as well, because I think for a long time, there's always been a focus on universities, but actually getting colleges and sixth forms involved is so important for our future as a party. So thank you for getting involved and for being interested. And shout out to Conservatives abroad, absolutely, absolutely. Brilliant. So I'm going to very quickly, for those of you who are like watching on YouTube, does anyone need me to repeat any of the questions? I hope not, because they've been on your screen, but I'm going to give you, I don't know, like 30 seconds if you need me to. So I will hang fire and sit here awkwardly for 30 seconds. And if you want to comment on the YouTube to let me know if there are any you missed, please do let me know. I've had a note so far. Shout out to the Tories polling at 54%. Well, I think we're all here to shout out to the Tories this evening. It's fantastic having so many like-minded Conservatives all in one place. So someone said repeat all the questions. I kind of don't want to do that because I would like us all to get to bed at some point this evening. Someone's asking how we upload answers. What I'd ask you guys to do is if you go into the Blue Beyond Twitter, there's an FAQ on there which explains how you do it all. It's all through a Google form. Hopefully you guys have had that, but if you go onto the Twitter now, hopefully you'll be able to see that. So you upload them through the form and then the guys will be marking them through those Google forms later. I see that Team Benjamin Quizraeli's, fantastic name, have just donated £12.50 as well. Thank you guys so much for helping to support the NHS. So someone said, repeat the film festival question. So this was about the prisoner with Alec Guinness. And basically we're wondering which film festival it was that it got banned from. A was the Sundance Festival. B was the Cannes Film Festival. My pronunciation is probably terrible, but Cannes spelt C-A-N-N-E-S. C was the Toronto Film Festival. And D was the Venice Film Festival. So hopefully you guys have got all that now. Brilliant. And another couple, Jack Megson and Anna Ostrovsky. Again, thank you guys so much for your contributions. So if you're all happy, if you're all ready, we will move on to the second round of questions. So our second round is one that some of you will enjoy. This is a round on political scandals and controversies. So we will move on to question number 1. In 1973, Henry Kissinger was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to some controversy. So much so, he tried to return the award in 1975. For what reason was he awarded the prize? So I think my dog's moving the camera down there. He's chewing a stick just below my tripod to be really helpful. So it's repeating question number 1. In 1973, Henry Kissinger was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to some controversy. So much so that he tried to return the award in 1975. For what reason was he awarded the prize? So someone here has asked for me to shout out specifically to Nathan from, I've just missed it, I think it was it Lincoln? Sorry, Lancaster University. He's got 24 society members taking part tonight. That is incredible, honestly. Having such a great representation from one of our universities is brilliant. If any of you guys can rival that, then get in touch on here, let me know, because I want to shout out to as many of you as I possibly can. Got a donation there from Seb. Thank you, Seb. Cardiff University Conservatives. I know you guys have contributed as well. Thank you, guys. And also our very own Rob Roberts MP has made his own contribution this evening. So Rob, thank you so much. And I will thank you properly later when we are on our Q&A. So if you're all happy, we will move on to question number 2. In 2017, Priti Patel resigned from cabinet as it emerged she'd broken ministerial code. She was summoned by the Prime Minister back to London from her trip abroad to resign as International Development Secretary. Where did Priti Patel fly from to return to the UK? So which country did she fly back from? I don't know, I feel like maybe I should declare an interest in this given the select committee I've just got onto, but I'm sure Priti won't mind. So question number 2 once again. In 2017, Priti Patel resigned from cabinet as it emerged she'd broken ministerial code. She was summoned by the Prime Minister back to London from her trip abroad to resign as International Development Secretary. Where did Patel return from? Which country was she in when she was asked to come back home? So hopefully you're all having a really good time this evening, having some fun. Hopefully some of you guys are on house party and on Zoom. I think it's amazing actually how as a kind of country we've gotten used to this working from home and all these digital techie ways of working. It's great. So who else is commenting at the moment? Someone's asking what I'm drinking. This is just a glass of red. I think it's a Zinfandel. Basildon and Thurrock YCs, thank you guys very much. Someone's asked, can I give a shout out to his mate Thomas Inman? Thomas Inman, this is for you. Hello. Warwick Tories have just contributed, thank you so much. And to go back to some others, Maggie's Marvels, brilliant team name. Maggie's Marvels have put a great contribution in towards this evening. So thank you guys, you're absolute heroes. And also to Andy Horton as well. Andy, thank you. And now we will move on to question number 3. Joseph Muscat was forced to resign from his position of Prime Minister in 2017 after the killing of an investigative journalist. Which European nation was Muscat Prime Minister of? So we'll go for number 3 again. Joseph Muscat was forced to resign from his position of Prime Minister in 2017 after the killing of an investigative journalist. Which European nation was Muscat the Prime Minister of? So Newcastle Tories, I think, are itching for a shout out. Newcastle Tories, hello, YI lads, nice to see you. Thank you guys for being here. And also, I've seen a comment, if someone's here without alcohol, you should leave. This is a drinking or a non-drinking event. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I've got a small glass of red. I'm sure there are people out there with all manner of drinks, including soft drinks. You are just as welcome as anyone else. Someone here, a shout out to the Barry Conservatives. Hello, Barry Conservatives. Thank you for being with us this evening. So we'll move on to question number 4. In 1994, Neil Hamilton was implicated in the Cash for Questions scandal. He ignored his colleagues' advice to stand down at the 1997 election and ultimately went on to be defeated. Which constituency did Hamilton represent? And you guys should definitely have heard of this constituency. Had 2 great recent MPs representing this constituency. So in 1994, Neil Hamilton was implicated in the Cash for Questions scandal. He ignored his colleagues' advice to stand down at the 1997 election and ultimately went on to be defeated. Which constituency did Hamilton represent? I'm just amazed by how many people are actually getting in touch on YouTube. This is great. Some fantastic comments on there. Some interesting ones as well, I'm not going to lie. So some more shout outs to Joanne Howie and Ellie, Jack, Salmon and Josh. Now, I do have a vested interest in this one because these guys are amazing. These guys are the ones who work for me and help me literally every day to try and do my job and also to help support people in Bishop Auckland and help me with my national policy work as well. So Joanne, Ellie, Jack, Salmon, Josh, but also to Nikki, who can't be with us this evening. You guys are my heroes. So thank you for everything you do to make my life a whole lot easier. And thank you for helping contribute towards our NHS fund as well. And also a shout out to Amber Dunbar as well for her great contribution. So Amber, thank you so much. Okay, we will move on to question number 5. Elizabeth Warren found herself in a controversy when she asserted claims that she had Native American ancestry. she's faced public scrutiny for what many have called a misrepresentation of her heritage. Which native tribe did she claim heritage from? So this is about Elizabeth Warren, who found herself in controversy when she asserted claims that she held Native American ancestry. She's faced public scrutiny for what many have called a misrepresentation of her heritage. Which native tribe did she claim heritage from? So shout out to Conservative Progress, who are in as Quisenbard Kingdom Brunel. Thank you very much, Conservative Progress. Thanks for being with us. I love the people who are also trying to get me to do shout outs to kind of Simpsons Most Tavern-esque names. I'm hoping not to be caught out by these. For example, Ben Dover. Fantastic. It's a little bit amateur, but I enjoyed it nonetheless, so thank you very much. So we will move on now to round 2, question number 6. In 1925, Parliament passed the Honours Prevention of Abuses Act. So that's the Honours brackets Prevention of Abuses Act. Why did they pass that act? So I'll go for that one more time. In 1925, Parliament passed the Honours bracket Prevention of Abuses Act. Why did they pass that act? Being joined once again by Carter, my noble assistant. South Durham YCs, I've just seen that you've donated. Thank you, guys. Come on, Pitch. Dog can't quite work out how to jump onto my lap from the sofa at the moment, I don't think so. Come on then. There we go. So all those people saying dog. Here is the dog. Probably going to chew my fingers now, but fantastic. His name is Carter. He has just turned 1. He's a terrier cross, and I got him from rescue. And he has been a great companion throughout this period of social distancing and self-isolation. So to you guys saying we love Carter, so do I. He is fantastic. So shout out, here's one I cannot pronounce, and I should be able to because James Morris is my whip. Shout out to Halswen and Rowley Regis Conservatives. Thank you guys for being with us this evening. And I say you guys standing Carter. I don't see a Carter Stan Twitter account yet, so there is your challenge. So we'll move on now to round 2, question number 7. Which Labour minister was forced to resign from the national government in the 1930s after shouting "tea up" at a golf course to indicate that tea duties were about to increase in the budget? So another one to take us back. Which Labour minister was forced to resign from the national government in the 1930s after shouting "tea up" at a golf course to indicate that tea duties were about to increase in the budget? So that was round 2, question number 7. So how are you guys doing? Are you finding this difficult? I know when I went through the list of questions, I was thinking, God, I'm glad I'm not taking part in this quiz because I would be doing a rubbish job. Edward Howard, thank you for donating. Layla Moran's laptop charger, thank you for donating. Brilliant. Well, honestly, I'm so blown away by our contributions. So Emily Tate, thank you so much. Councillor Kyle Evans, again, thank you so much for your incredibly kind donations. So I'm going to jump onto the WhatsApp. Guys, can you get me an update on how we are doing on donations at the moment? I would love to see that if you can. And I've also been told, for those of you, if you're struggling to keep up with the questions, they are all being put out on Twitter at the moment. So if you can't find them, have a look on Twitter. They should all be on there in order. Brilliant. So we are now on £1,200 raised. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys. 1,250, even better. I feel like one of those the people on like QVC who are getting like the price updates in their ear. It's great, but this is honestly amazing. Thank you so much. So we'll move on now to round 2, question number 8. Which tax-avoiding Conservative Transport Minister was responsible for awarding motorway contracts to himself and for running away to Monaco to avoid investigation by the Inland Revenue? So that is round 2, question number 8. Which tax-avoiding Conservative Transport Minister was responsible for awarding motorway contracts to himself and for running away to Monaco to avoid investigation by the Inland Revenue? Brilliant. So hopefully you guys are doing okay. I know I'm doing okay. I'm having a great time, really enjoying this. And it's just brilliant seeing so many of you feeding in. And something I'd like to say as well, I'd like to kind of put this out to you guys. We're going to be getting the link up on screen a little bit later, but for now, if you guys are enjoying the quiz, if you're enjoying what we're doing and you're enjoying the stuff that Blue Beyond are putting together, please do consider joining Blue Beyond because they're a great organisation. They do some incredible work, specifically focused on getting our young conservative-minded people involved in a more active way, and really just coming up with kind of places where we can have these discussions, where we can share ideas, and also have quite a good social scene as well. So that is my first shout out for Blue Beyond. There will be many more throughout this quiz. Someone that's asking me what my favourite lockdown snack is, and I'm going to be really boring because I am trying to be on a health kick, given I've put on so much weight since Christmas and since being elected. So at the minute, my favourite is like a smoothie. I'm a big fan of the smoothie. I know it's a drink, not a snack, but I'm gonna claim that as my answer nonetheless. And my favourite one is actually genuinely the innocent smoothie Bolt from the Blue, because there are not enough blue foods out there. So we'll move on now to round 2, question number 9. Which country's entire legislative and executive branch was paralysed for over 1,000 days after a scandal where the government renewable heat incentive scheme failed? So that is round 2, question number 9. Which country's entire legislative and executive branch was paralysed for over 1,000 days after a scandal where the government renewable heat incentive scheme failed? So I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up with all your messages. I'm trying to keep up with Twitter as well, and with the notes that I'm getting from the Blue Beyond team also. So there's only a couple more questions left in this round. One more question left in this round. Quick maths, which I'm clearly not very good at. So round 2, question number 10. What was Jeremy Corbyn's defence when a photograph emerged of him laying a wreath at a memorial for the plotters of the Munich Olympic massacre? So if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Jeremy Corbyn's last day as Labour leader, actually. So it's quite apt that we finish round 2 with a question about Jeremy Corbyn. So question number 10. What was Jeremy Corbyn's defence when a photograph emerged of him laying a wreath at a memorial for the plotters of the Munich Olympic massacre? So guys, we've survived almost half of the quiz. We've survived the first 2 rounds. Hopefully you're all enjoying it as much as I am and as much as I know the Blue Beyond team are. And what's going to happen next is we are going to go for a little bit of a break. But while that's happening, there'll be a slideshow on your screen with the picture round. And I absolutely love this round. I've looked through all the pictures, and this is the one round where I feel like personally I would do incredibly well. So what you've got to do is you've got to look at the pictures that come up on screen, and you need to tell us what the name of the character is. So you'll notice a trends of them all. They're all a set, and you need to tell us what the name of the character is. So that's how you get points, and points mean prizes. So tell us the name of the character. And on that note, I am going to leave you for a short while. Enjoy the slideshow. Go and get snacks up. Go and get some drinks. Go and wash your hands. Make sure you're self-isolating, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
1.
Hey guys, I'm back for 10 seconds just to say, I know a few of you have said there are no question numbers on the picture round. If you go onto the Blue Beyond Twitter, they're all on there with their subsequent numbers. Tiny little hit, it's been running really well so far, but if you go onto the Twitter, they're all there with the corresponding numbers. So take a look there, and that's how it'll help you fill in the picture round.
2, 1.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Blue Beyond virtual pub quiz. It's been really great so far. I hope you guys are refreshed. I hope you've had food, you've had some drink, you've had time to confer over some of those answers. I hope you haven't been Googling, because if so, I will find you and we will not be happy. But what I just want to do next is I asked a few of my other MP colleagues if they could join us, and there are some who can't be with us this evening, but have recorded some little videos of support. So we'll start off with a video from Andrew Bowie MP, who is the Conservative Party Vice Chairman. Brilliant. So we've heard from Andrew, and we've got another video as well from one of my new colleagues who was also elected in December and a bit of a Twitter favourite, Dr. Luke Evans. Oh, I'm hearing that apparently there's no audio. Okay, we'll try and fix this. Behind the scenes, we'll work on the tech. But until then, we'll carry on. We will move on to round number 4, and we will play these videos a little bit later on for you guys. So hopefully you got on okay with the picture round. As I say, for me, that was probably the round that I would personally do the best in. But round number 4 is one that is personally of great interest, because this is the Women in Politics round. And we will start with question number 1. Women got the right to vote in general elections in 1918, but some women were able to vote in local elections before that. When did women get the vote in local elections? So question number 1. Women got the right to vote in general elections in 1918, but some women were able to vote in local elections before that. When did women get the vote in local elections? So women's suffrage, for obvious reasons, something that's a great interest to me. I think it's fascinating looking at some of those female trailblazers who became, the first people to get elected, the first people to hold cabinet positions, and obviously our dear leader Margaret Thatcher, who became the first ever female Prime Minister of the UK. Greatly inspirational to so many of us. Not just women, but also some of the blokes who just saw these people as trailblazers and people who would just get on based on merit and based on their own hard work, which is what we Conservatives are all about. Brilliant. So I'm seeing the comments have slowed down a little bit. This is good. It means I can actually keep up. Thank you to Team 48 Letters who have just donated. And also to some of our earlier donors, including Molly Giles. Molly, thank you for your donation. It's really, really appreciated. And also to Team Once in a Milliband, which is Lucy, Kieran, Luke, Olivia, and Izzy. Thank you, guys. I've just been speaking to the gang, and the charity that we're donating to is the NHS Together NHS Charities Together, and they're doing amazing work. They're helping to put together kind of packs for NHS staff to help some of the volunteers on the wards as well, really just to help support those staff through what we can all appreciate is an incredibly difficult time. And hopefully some of you guys joined in on the Clap for Our Carers sessions, where we were throwing our NHS and frontline workers a real round of applause for the amazing work they're doing. given the current crisis. So I'll move on now to round number 4, question number 2. Who was the first woman bishop to sit in the House of Lords? So question number 2. Who was the first woman bishop to sit in the House of Lords? So we have to do a shout out to the Welsh Youth Parliament Team Tories on tour. Hey guys, I hope you're not on tour at the moment, because you should be at home and you should be socially distancing at the moment. So I'm going to hope you mean a virtual tour. But hey guys, it's nice to see you. It's lovely to have you with us. And also shout out to the Jacob Sleepy Mog team, which is Alex, Benji, Jordan, Dylan, Aaron, and Keris. Thank you guys for being with us this evening. I also see we're having this like a small debate / argument going on at the moment about milk, which always an interesting one to see. So if you're ready, we will move on to question number 3. Now, we Conservatives often celebrate Lady Astor as the first female Member of Parliament to take her seat. But who was the first woman MP to be elected? So again, we all often celebrate Lady Astor as the first woman Member of Parliament to take her seat. But who was the first woman MP to be elected? Someone here saying no one knows the answers. I'm guessing that means you're probably not doing so well, but don't worry. There's another round left when hopefully you can redeem yourself. And the Wandsworth and Wimbledon Young Conservatives, hey guys, thank you for being with us this evening and taking part in this quiz. Brilliant. I'm just sort of trying to keep an eye on your comments. There are so many. Someone's asking again about the dog. The dog is now asleep. He is in his basket asleep, which I'm grateful for because he's been very hyper all day. So he is over there behind the camera, currently snoozing in his little bed. And his bed has Union Jacks on, you'll be pleased to know, because my dog is incredibly patriotic. So we'll move on now to question number 4, and one that actually from the outset I actually knew the answer to. So this question is a simple one. It's how many female MPs are there currently in the Conservative Party? You're looking at one of them. So how many more are there? How many in total female Conservative MPs in Parliament at the moment? We're doing well, and one of the things that I'm really proud of is that we've got a great number of female MPs, and because our party doesn't believe in quotas, because we don't believe in all women's shortlists, every single one of those female members of Parliament is there based purely on merit and on their own talent, which is exactly as it should be. I see someone there who said too many. Disagree. We'll move on that note to question number 5. Again, not my wording, but I can't disagree. Legend, superstar and icon Lady Hale was the first woman to be president of the Supreme Court. But who was the first woman to become a law lord? So this is round 4, question number 5. Legend, superstar and icon Lady Hale was the first woman to become president of the Supreme Court. But who was the first woman to become a law lord? So guys, it's exciting. We have hit 9 p.m. and we are currently on £1,400 raised. This is absolutely incredible. I know when I was asked to do this quiz, I was thinking, if we can raise a couple of £100, this will be amazing. So to have it now reach £1,400 is remarkable, absolutely remarkable. So thank you all sincerely from the bottom of my heart for contributing. And I'm just trying to get the latest list of people who've contributed. There are so many. So we've got a few more who've contributed some great amounts. So I'm going to run through a few of these. We've got Nathan Eckersley. Nathan, thank you for your donation. And another one of my great colleagues, we've got Christian Wakeford, who has donated. Thank you, Christian. You're a superstar. Christian is one of my buddies in Parliament where we share the passion that is Star Wars. So Christian is kind of my fellow geek on the green benches, great pal. But also to Lancaster University Conservatives, you guys have donated so much, not just in terms of your time this evening, but also financially. So thank you. It's really, really appreciated. And so we will now move on to question number 6. So round 4, question number 6. Queen Victoria was famously opposed to women's suffrage, but which of her daughters secretly helped campaign for the right for women to vote? So round 4, question number 6. Queen Victoria was famously opposed to women's suffrage, but which of her daughters secretly helped campaign for the right for women to vote? Just having a look at some of your tweets now as well. It's brilliant seeing so many of you guys involved. And I love, if you have a look on Twitter at Josh McCauley's Twitter, he's got a behind the scenes look at what his screen looks like. I just want to do a shout out to Josh because he is the tech wizard behind all this. He's put in so much work to get this working, to ensure that wherever we are in the country, we're all somehow appearing as one block, and so that you guys can all see me, so that it's appearing on YouTube, so that things are going out on Twitter, so that you've got the pop-ups when people are donating. Josh, you're a superstar, mate. Thank you so much. And now we will move on to question number 8. Round 4, question 8. The Women's Equality Party was launched in 2015. Who were its 2 founders? And on this one, they're being a bit stingy. You only get half a point for each. So to get the full point for this round, you need to name both of them. So round 4, question number 8. The Women's Equality Party was launched in 2015. Who were its 2 founders? And you get half a point for each, so you need to name them both to get the full point there. So a couple more shout outs I'm seeing you guys come through. Jack Perkis, hello, thanks for being with us. And also to, and I quote, the B-Knock on Lancaster campus, Tom Sutton. Hello, Tom. A lot of people wanting shout outs for Tom and Jack. Well, hello, thank you so much. This is great. Honestly, I'm just looking at some of your comments on Twitter and on the YouTube. So much positivity. And I think in this current time, when politics can seem like quite a dark place, when there's an awful lot of scary stuff going on with coronavirus outside our front doors, it's just great to have this place where we can come, be positive, discuss, share ideas, share a passion, and that passion is for conservative focused politics. So it's fantastic. And we'll move on now to round 4, question number 9. In what year did our Queen succeed to the throne? So in what year did our sovereign Lady Queen succeed to the throne? Someone's just said positive vibes only. Absolutely right. My office in Parliament actually has a little sign on the door, so that if anyone comes to my office, it says good vibes only, which is totally the vibe we go for in my office. I'm hoping that my team would vouch for that. I'm going to ask them. I'll get them to put a comment on the YouTube later. But yeah, we try and keep positive. Someone here is asking if I can repeat question number 7. I'll remind you that they are all on Twitter. And you're asking me to repeat question number 7 because I accidentally skipped question number 7. So my apologies for apparently not being able to count. I'll go back and I'll do question 7. Apologies for the confusion there. So just to take you back, question 6 was the one about Queen Victoria's daughter. So there should have been question 7 in there. And that question 7 was Margaret Thatcher was the first woman prime minister, here. But her cabinet was overwhelmingly male dominated. So who was the only other woman in Margaret Thatcher's cabinet? So again, this is question number 7. I'm really sorry to say I missed. Question number 7 being, Margaret Thatcher was the first woman prime minister, but her cabinet was overwhelmingly male dominated. Who was the only other woman in Margaret Thatcher's cabinet? So just to correct my mistake, question 6 was about Queen Victoria's daughter. Question 7 was the one I've just told you about Margaret Thatcher's cabinet. Question 8 was the Women's Equality Party question. And question 9 was the question about what year the Queen took to the throne. Sorry for the confusion there. Seen a lot of big up Maggie T now. Someone said I should get sacked because how can you trust me to make laws if I can't read a question? Thank you. Feel free to launch the recall petition. I'm not sure a pub quiz would quite do it, but brilliant. So we'll move on now to round 4, question number 10, final question of this round. In what year were women admitted to all public institutions and allowed to become jurors? So that is question number 10 of round 4. In what year were women admitted to all public institutions and allowed to become jurors? So jurors of the jury, J-U-R-O-R-S. So I see someone here saying it's your birthday. Well, Jack, if it's your birthday, an incredibly happy birthday. I'm glad to know that you're spending your birthday celebrating with us, with the Blue Beyond team, and with fellow young conservatives all over the country doing this amazing quiz. So thank you very much. So we've come to the end of round number 4. And I just want to check with my guys, do we have the videos ready? Are the videos ready to go, or are we saving those for in a little while? You just send me a message on the WhatsApp, let me know. And in the meantime, I will look at some more comments. I'm going to have a look at Twitter. I've got a load of Twitter notifications coming through thanks to you guys. So shout out to Carlisle Young brackets-ish conservatives. Hello, Carlisle conservatives. And Nick Morris on Twitter, a really lovely tweet there about just generally about the good positive energy from this. So brilliant. So I've been told we're going to do the videos after this next round and before we move on to our MP's Q&A. So on that basis, we will move on now to round number 5. So round 5, the final round of questions we have for you. And this is a general political knowledge section. So we'll move on. This is round 5, question number 1. Which English constituency was represented by a DUP member between December 2004 and April 2005? So this is round number 5, question number 1. Which English constituency was represented by a DUP member between December 2004 and April 2005? Someone there just asked how many rounds there are. Well, this is the final round, round number 5. If you're confused about any of the questions, probably due to the fact that I told them in the wrong order, you can go on Twitter. They're all on there in order, the question numbers. So if you've missed any, they're all on there. Someone's telling me I've not said question 7. I went back and did question 7, I promise. So we will move on now to round 5, question number 2. Question number 2, which former MP, so this is former MP, has a section on their website which is dedicated to their love of cats? So I'm sure that Ellie in my office will appreciate this as a huge cat lover. Which former MP has a section to their website which is dedicated to their love of cats? That was round 5, yeah, question number 2. I'm just going to turn this down because someone's just pinged onto my chat there. There we go. Someone's saying I won't be seeing straight after this quiz. I started with a glass that was this full and it's now this full. So I'm being very responsible, as you all should be. Brilliant. So we will move on now to question number 3. So this is our final round, round 5, question number 3. The voice coach that Margaret Thatcher used in the run-up to the 1979 general election had previously been employed by which actor? So round 5, question number 3. The voice coach Margaret Thatcher used in the run-up to the 1979 general election had previously been employed by which actor? A very fine actor indeed. So one thing I want to know, I want you to feed me some stuff on the YouTube comments. I'm always curious about what people are up to, given that we're all stuck at home. What kind of things are you guys doing to kind of amuse yourselves during self-isolation and social distancing? You know, are you starting blogs? Are you learning to play an instrument? Are you learning a language? You know, what is it you're doing? I know there'll be a few of you out there who are trying to become TikTok stars. Awesome. I am now addicted to watching TikTok videos because it's just absolutely addictive. Someone said, here we go, MCU marathon, absolutely yes. I'm getting ready to start on that myself, obviously after work. Googling pub quiz answers, Jordan Lewis, I'm watching you. Yoga is a good choice. Playing RPGs, also good. Football Manager, making mog memes, playing video games, a lot of good stuff going on. Doing pub quizzes and drinking, great way to spend a Friday. And really weird, geeky politics Tory quizzes. Absolutely. That is the only way you should be spending your evenings. So with that, we will move on now to round 5, question number 4. Who was the father of Labour Lords leader, Baroness J? So this is round 5, question 4. Who was the father of the Labour Lords leader, Baroness J? What else are people doing? Let's see. Xbox, missing going out and canvassing. Thomas, you are a hero. Schoolwork. What else have we got going on? Harry Potter marathon, also fantastic. Someone's asking me if I play Civilization. Do you know, I actually don't. I used to play it like a long time ago, but it's been a while. Getting Brexit done. Yes, we are. Waiting to volunteer. Yeah, the kind of volunteer portal is on the go at the moment, and hopefully will be up and running, so that if you guys have signed up to the Good Sam NHS Volunteer Responder Programme, that should be up and running soon. Brilliant. So I will move on now to the next question, which is round 5, question 5. Okay, so since 1918, the 5 highest constituency voter turnouts have been in 2 constituencies. What are those 2 constituencies? So I'll repeat that one. Since 1918, the 5 highest constituency voter turnouts have been in just 2 constituencies. What are those 2 constituencies? This is a good one. This is some really good pub quiz trivia. I've seen someone there doing your dissertation. Keep it up, keep going with it, Callum. It's really important. I'm sure it's on a really interesting topic. Yeah, it feels so good. Once you've handed that dissertation in, it feels amazing, so it's well worth it. Someone's asking me what football team I support. Well, I make no secret of the fact that I was born and brought up a proud Sheffield United fan, particularly proud given how well we've been doing this season. But also on a grassroots level, we've got some amazing local football teams here in Bishop Auckland, and I've been quite involved with Bishop Auckland Football Club, who have been fantastic. So, and with that, we will move on to round 5, question number 6. Which Labour MP faked his own death in 1974? So that's round 5, question number 6. Which Labour MP faked his own death in 1974? What have we got coming in at the moment? We've got more donations coming in. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant news. Someone's saying, down with the Blades, up with the Owls. Absolutely not. I'm a Blades girl through and through, what can I say? Shout out to fellow Sheffield students. Hello, Sheffield students. Thank you for being with us. It's fantastic. Someone's asking me whether the turnout question was on percentage or amount. So from my incredible quiz writers, would you just confirm that for me quickly in the WhatsApp, just so I can confirm that with people to make sure we've got this absolutely spot on? We'll wait and see one of you typing. But until then, I will keep going on YouTube. So what else are we going? Someone's asking what question we're on. That was round 5, question number 6. So someone's asking me what my tattoo is. This is actually a Harry Potter tattoo. I'm not going to be able to show it you very well, but it's Expecto Patronum and a little Patronus. So now you know. Joshua has said, can we get a happy birthday for his mum for Sunday? Mother of Joshua, hello, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday on Sunday. I'm sorry that we're all kind of trapped indoors, but this is me now putting a lot of pressure on your son to make it a really special birthday for you nonetheless. So very happy birthday. So someone here said they're spending their time doing data entry. And someone's mentioned Billy Sharp scoring goals because he's fantastic. So I'm going back to my team, Blue Beyond team. Can I just get a confirmation for the question about voter turnout? Will you just let me know if it was in a percentage or in terms of numbers? I'm guessing percentage, but I just want you to confirm it for me so I'm not misleading people. I see typing. And someone's just checking for me. I didn't write the questions, but a great set of questions, though, really interesting and really got us thinking. So I've got a lot of people now who are asking me to shout out for birthdays and things. I don't think I can keep up, but basically to all of you guys who have a birthday during this this period of kind of social distancing and lockdown, genuinely have an amazing birthday. In a few years' time, you're going to look back on this and it's going to give some great stories of that time you celebrated a birthday in lockdown. It's going to be interesting, but we've got great digital ways we can keep in touch now. So just make sure you and your friends do everything you can to try and make it special. So I'm going to move on to the next question, and once I've got confirmation from that one, I will let you guys know. So moving on to round 5, question number 7. Which Defence Secretary resigned over the Westland affair? So that is round 5, question number 7. Which Defence Secretary resigned over the Westland affair? So it's certainly testing out our political history knowledge here, isn't it? So many comments, fantastic. Someone's saying I should get a Bojo tattoo. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably not going to do that because that's a really easy way to end up on BuzzFeed with some weird article about me and my tattoos, which is not really the dream. But I have a lot of respect for the Prime Minister, and I'm sure we can all agree that we wish him a really speedy recovery from coronavirus, and really hope to see him back on his feet incredibly soon. Okay, I've got my confirmation. The turnout figures, it was about percentage. So it was which constituencies had the biggest percentage turnout. So just to make sure that you guys have all got that one, we're going back to round 5, question number 5, where I said the 5 highest constituency turnouts since 1918 have all been in 2 constituencies. They are all the 5 highest percentage turnouts rather than the total number of voters that turned out. So I hope that's helpful to clarify. And with that, we will move on to round 5, question number 8. And this question is, who was the last MP to be elected as an independent? So this is round 5, question number 8. Who was the last MP to be elected as an independent? Brilliant. Saying thank you to the team for getting in touch and for confirming that for me. Brilliant. So what else we got going on while you guys are answering that one? Wandsworth and Wimbledon Young Tories are after another shout out. I'm pretty sure I've given you guys a shout out already, being incredibly cheeky. What else we got? What's my favourite Harry Potter movie? Oh, it's so hard. I mean, they're all amazing. I'm a big fan of Order of the Phoenix because I absolutely love the scene with Fred and George and the fireworks. Probably one of my favourite movie scenes. So I'd probably go for that. And can I bring the dog to PMQs? Unfortunately, I can't. I had a conversation with the speaker when I was first elected asking about what the rules and regulations are on bringing pets into the house. And unfortunately, it's a no pet policy unless they are kind of, care dogs and that sort of thing. And much as Carter does bring me great joy, I don't think I can get away with calling him a kind of a care dog or anything like that at the moment. So no, I can't take him to PMQs. But you never know, maybe one day. Okay, so we will move on now. But first, a shout out to Bosworth Young Conservatives, purely because we've got a video from Dr. Luke coming up soon. So hello, Bosworth, and thank you for being with us. So we'll move on to round 5, question number 9. Which EastEnders character, sorry, I'll try that again, forgive me. Which EastEnders actress is quoted as saying, "I wouldn't vote Labour, dear, if you paid me"? I would suggest one with a great bit of sass, but round 5, question number 9. Which EastEnders actress is quoted as saying, "I wouldn't vote Labour, dear, if you paid me"? My gosh, there are so many questions coming in now about movies, which is fun. So, favorite Star Wars film, Empire, every time. Favorite MCU film, oh my gosh, that's really difficult. I don't know. Probably Thor Ragnarok, I reckon. But there are so many amazing ones to choose from, and I love Captain Marvel because absolute girl power. So I'm going to move on now. I'm going to move on to our final question. And our final question is it's a good one. So round 5, question number 10. How many seats do Labour need to gain to win a majority of 2 seats at the next election? This is a real brain teaser. It's one to really test you out. And this is, how many seats do Labour need to gain to win a majority of 2 seats at the next election? That is a tricky one. A very tricky one. Good luck with that one. So Nuneaton and Bedworth YCs, thank you for being with us. People calling me a nerd, can confirm. I've never tried to hide that. And favourite political sitcom, it's got to be The Thick of It, every single time. Every single time, it has to be The Thick of It. So, a very exciting update on where we are on fundraising. So we've raised, are you ready for this, guys? Are you ready? We've raised £1,500. But I'm gonna actually go one better at this point, because one of my friends has been watching this quiz and basically wants to help out and wants to chip in. And so he said that just based on how good the quiz has been, based on how cool Blue Beyond are being, and based on how positive the whole thing has been, he is going to be donating £500 himself. So thank you so much. He's asked not to be named, but huge thank you for doing that, which means that our fundraising total is actually at £2,000. That's £2,000 raised for the NHS charities together to help with the COVID appeal, to help support our NHS workers and volunteers throughout this terrible time, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you all so much. NHS charities together. So that is it. We are at the end of our questions now. So what I'm going to do is I am going to now ask my amazing techie people to get our Zoom on screen, because I believe now we're moving on to our MPs Q&A. So over to you guys.
I've been on telly.
1.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome back. We just had a quick break there while we got the tech set up ready for our MPs Q&A. But before we do that, you can see everyone on the screen now. There we go. Before we do that, we're just going to play the videos of some of our colleagues who were kind enough to make a little video for us about the quiz this evening. So hopefully the sound will work this time. We're going to start off with a video from Andrew Bowie.
Hi guys, Andrew Bowie here, MP for West Aberdeen, Charing Carn and Vice Chairman of the Conservative Party. Just saying thanks very much and good luck.
Can people hear me now?
For Blue Beyond quiz. I would be joining you. In fact, I was going to join you until I found out it was Dehenna.
Technology in the over 30s, you see.
So
bad,
even
bad stuff.
in a period of lockdown, I felt I could find better things to do with my time. So seriously, thank you very much. Thank you for all the fundraising that you're doing to support all those people that are doing great work right now in our NHS and emergency services. Good luck in the quiz tonight. Can't wait to see who's won and can't wait to find out just how rubbish Dehenna was. I'm sorry, just how great Dehenna was as quizmaster.
So that was Andrew with some very, very polite words about me and my my quiz mastery. So you guys can feed in and tell people what you think. Moving on now is a video from Dr. Luke Evans.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Luke Evans, I'm the MP for Bosworth and this is Rue. I gather the quiz is happening tonight. Fantastic, so many people from across the country are coming together to raise money for to support charities fighting COVID. Good luck to you all. I'd love to have a good excuse for not to be there, but I'm useless at quizzes and actually I've got someone else to look after. We send you lots of love and stay safe tonight.
Three, two, one.
We have Esther McVeigh.
Hi there, Esther McVeigh here. Sorry I can't be with you for your online pub quiz tonight. Sounds like it's going to be fantastic. You're in the capable hands of Dehenna, who'll be asking the questions. And just one thing, no cheating now. You're at home, but that doesn't mean you can look up the answers whilst nobody can see what you're doing. No, have a fantastic night. Money going to a wonderful cause. You're doing a great thing. Enjoy.
We have one of my really good buddies, Jacob Young, the MP for Redcar, now known as Blue Car.
Hi everyone, my name's Jacob. I'm the MP for Redcar. Just wanted to wish you all luck for the Blue Beyond pub quiz tonight. It's a great cause that you're raising money for, and thank you for doing that. Now, in the words of RuPaul, good luck and don't.
And the next one in 3, 2, 1.
And up next, we have our final video from another one of our MP supporters, Ben Bradley.
Hi guys, Ben Bradley here, MP for Mansfield. Thanks for joining the Blue Beyond pub quiz tonight. Sorry I couldn't be with you. Working at home, I'm now left in charge, sole charge of several children, which is a dangerous game. So I am fully focused on sorting that out. But thanks for getting involved and staying involved during this obviously difficult time where we can't all get together. Important that things like this are happening, and great that Blue Beyond are organising for you guys to all get together and hopefully have a good night. Good luck to everybody. May the best man or lady win. And looking forward to seeing the results. Well done also for the great fundraising work you're doing tonight to support our efforts to battle coronavirus, and hopefully we can all get together soon. Bye.
Brilliant. And so just before we move on to our Q&A, I just want to do a big shout out to some more people who've donated brilliantly. So we've had Leicester Conservatives, we've had Toby, we've had Team 48 Letters and Nick Granger. Thank you guys so much for helping us and helping us raise money for this really vital cause. So I see that we are now ready for our Q&A. I also see that I think Google is up on the screen, so I think we need to fix that. Hopefully. Give it a second.
All fixed.
Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some questions, fire them at some of my colleagues. Who do you all want to say a quick hello?
Hello.
Hi.
See, some of you had muted your mics, but hey, everyone.
Hello, anyway.
How did you do? How did you get on? Did you manage to answer many of the questions?
No, we were crap.
Terrible.
We were brilliant. No, we were brilliant.
Superb.
I think
Not really
we'll wait
into
and see.
politics.
If it wasn't for Chris Clarkson, we'd have been in all manner of trouble.
Chris Clarkson, he knows everything.
It was the Chris Clarkson quiz.
Was.
He is the guy. He is the guy in the know. So the first question I want to ask to everyone, which is quite a fun one, which is if you're in any Hogwarts house, which Hogwarts house would you be in? So I'm going to go first. I'll go to Rob first.
Oh, look! I thought we were going to Alex first. You broke the rules. I'm because no one else will say it. I'll be a Hufflepuff because I'm sweet and cute and lovely and nice.
Okay, and Christian.
Probably Ravenclaw. Wise.
Very good. Guy, which would you be?
Gryffindor.
Very short choice there.
Boring.
Chris.
I've never read a Harry Potter book, so I wouldn't really know.
Sacrilege. Sacrilege.
Go get your robe.
Andy, over to you.
I'm a Gryffindor man.
Good
Definitely.
man. And Alex?
Hufflepuff. They're quite cute and cuddly.
I'm so shocked that no one said Slytherin. Like I'm
a
100%
bloody
a Slytherin.
Everybody knows what a
Clarkson.
Slytherin.
Clarkson's a Slytherin.
I am a
Brilliant.
Slytherin.
Well, Chris, you can join me in Slytherin.
Oh, you're
so
Slytherin.
now I'm gonna go to Alex. So Alex, this is a question for you. Who's your favourite Labour Prime Minister?
Oh, there's so few to choose from. I don't know. Well, probably the thing. It's quite vanilla, isn't it? But I'm going to say Gordon Brown, and the reason for Gordon Brown is because he was only there for a couple of years. He didn't do too much damage to the country, which is better than most Labour prime ministers. Yeah, and he issued in 10 years plus of Tory rule. So we'll take that.
Not a bad answer. Okay, Christian, question for you. Who's your favourite British monarch? I mean, there's only one answer for this, isn't there, really? But
Queenie.
Which one?
It's got to be.
Blackadder.
Okay, and another one for you, Christian, because I know that you're a massive geek like me. What's your favourite Star Wars movie?
Empire, obviously. Best movie ever made.
Yeah.
He's right on that one.
That's wrong. It's the Ewok made-for-TV movie, Cavern Courage. If you look, actually, made in mid-80s, far better.
Dehenna, can you take Alex out of this conversation now?
I think we need to.
He lies. He lies.
So, Chris, here's one for you. There's a slightly more serious one. Not that serious, but Chris, what was it like? What was the first experience of your first PMQs like?
Bit cramped, to be honest. I was sat next to Paul Holmes, who I share an office with. So he sprang up to ask a question. I didn't even end up on camera. So I was slightly disappointed. But yeah, it's surreal. I mean, it's lovely. As you know yourself, you sit in the chamber and it's just like you feel really shouldn't be here. But yeah, pretty cool.
Brilliant. And Guy, there's one for you, which is specifically about the Northeast. So someone's asked, they live in the Northeast themselves, but what can we do as a party to ensure a similar, if not even better, result in our region in the future?
Next election, we will win many, many more seats. We'll win Sunderland. We will win probably Hartlepool. I suspect more seats in County Durham. Probably win, I don't know, North Tyneside, Whitley Bay area. We just need to keep going, frankly. When I started in 2010, there was me, was it. Now 10 of us.
It's amazing. And what a fantastic 10 we are, Guy, as well, if I do say so myself.
So what you're saying, guys, you started the job. They're just finishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Rob, over to you. What song are you going to sing for us this evening?
Oh, what? Can't we... are we doing that now?
Rob,
or can we do that
promised that you're going to sing 2 songs for us, so it's fine.
Warmed up, so.
All right, so I was going to do one, and then I changed my mind today when sadly Bill Withers died today, who was amazing. So I was going to do a little tribute and do Ain't No Sunshine, just the first half, just as a bit of a tribute to the wonderful Bill Withers.
Brilliant. Well, we'll have a few more questions, then we'll get on to that. So Andy, here's one for you. What is your dream cabinet portfolio, if you were told?
DCMS, Ministry of Fun. It's where you
Minister
get all the
for
good
the
tickets.
Empire.
The Empire, yeah. I mean, I could do the Empire. I think DCMS is the one. It's the one where you can make people smile every day.
That's a good one. So I'm going to go back to Alex. Why did you become an MP?
I just wanted to give something back to my community. I mean, my grandparents were refugees from the Soviet Union. They fled communism, basically, and ended up in the UK and came to the UK with absolutely nothing, literally nothing, couldn't even speak English. And they're really embraced by the community and really, got involved with the community. And it really showed to them and my family that if you actually get involved in the community, you can give stuff back. And it's really, really important to be so involved in your local communities. And that's, I think, a politician, I think, is the best way of giving something back and being thoroughly involved.
Brilliant. And I'm gonna kind of ask this one to everyone. Christian, what was it that made you get involved?
Well, I first got involved in party politics. Oh God, way back in 2003. So what, 16, 17 years ago. So my entire adult life has been politics. Did it for my degree, and it was something that whilst I was doing my A levels, similar to Alex, it was actually I don't want to just see the change. I actually want to be part of making that change and making this country a better place for everyone. And really, the only way you can do that is being the one who actually makes the laws rather than implementing them. So I started my route to being an MP through the voluntary party.
Interesting. So, Guy, over to you. Why did you become an MP?
You can't remember that far back.
Someone tried to close the hospital that my mother had her life saved in by a cancer operation. And so I started the campaign to stop that hospital being closed. We stopped that hospital being closed, and it's still going today. And then someone said, you should do this more seriously. And so I put my name down on the list. And approximately 6 months later, I was on the list and good to go, and cracked on from there.
Brilliant. And Chris, same question to you.
I come from a very politically active family. I've had a great grandmother who's a suffragette. I've got people from both sides of the political divide. I've got trade union activists. I've got people who've been councillors before. It was always bred into me from an early age. We used to talk about politics at the dinner table. So I just sort of ended up progressing to it. I've been a councillor for 8 years. It was what was next.
Brilliant. And Rob?
Well, my story is a little bit different to everybody else's. So I only actually decided to stand in October. So lots of other people have got lots of experience here and gone through various stages of politics. And having only decided to stand in October, I had no background in politics. I hadn't done local government. I haven't done any other politics at all. It was just, I've always lived in my constituency. I've lived here all my life. It's been Labour for the last 27 years. And part of the reason that I wanted to do it was we also have, because I'm a seat in Wales, we also have the Welsh government to contend with. So we just need more of a conservative presence in our area. So I was just keen to push that forward and push that through. So the reason I got involved was just to drive those kind of conservative values through the region.
Brilliant. And Andy, same question to you.
Actually, I'm not that dissimilar to Rob. About 2 years ago, I had a call, and parish councillor had passed away in the area where I live. And they said, we can't find anybody else to do it. Do you fancy standing for council? And I've been working all my life, not really been involved in politics in any way. And said, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And then a year down the line, they came back and said, we might have an election soon. Do you fancy standing to be an MP? And I said, no, not really. Quite a lot on, but look at where I am now. So if anybody ever comes to you and says, do you fancy being a parish council, be really, really careful before you say yes.
Careful what you wish for.
Yep.
So guys, here's a question that someone just submitted to me. What's your favourite political podcast? And I'm going to go to Guy Opperman for this one first, because I think I know what his answer might be.
It's Beyond the Bubble, of course. The iconic conservative political podcast that is modern and different and has had a couple of people on, not least yourself.
Brilliant.
Can I say as well?
Please do, yeah. Alex?
I agree with Guy. It is the best. It's why I go to every day. It is, daily updates is great. And it's just a shame they haven't got me on it yet for some reason. I'm just saying. But if
Matter of time, mate.
I'm available literally now till Parliament goes back. So let me know. I'll wait for my phone.
Brilliant. Andy, what about you?
Well, apart from Beyond the Bubble, which is, again, I've not been asked either, but let's not talk about that. I actually really like the Nick Robinson podcast because you get some really extended interviews with Nick asking some really great questions. So when I'm on the train coming up and down on a regular basis to Westminster, that's what's usually in the ears.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think Ian Dales is quite good as well. But
yeah,
agreed.
Good choice. Chris, over to you.
I don't listen to them. If I listen to a podcast, it's not political. That's what I do to not do politics.
What would you listen to instead?
I would highly recommend, if you've not listened to it, The History of Rome, which is it's like 10 years of a labour of love by this guy who just loves the history of Rome, and it's really, really interesting. It's one for geeks.
And Rob?
I have never listened to a podcast of any variety in my life.
Okay, so what would you listen to? If you need to unwind, what would you listen to?
Songs. 90s cheesy pop crap.
Brilliant. I love it. So here's one for you guys. If you could be any Monopoly tile, which would you be? Rob, since you're on my screen, you're going first.
Free parking.
Guy, did I hear you say Mayfair?
Yeah, of course. Go where the quality is.
Absolutely. Chris?
Go. Who doesn't want to collect 200 quid?
Andy?
Well, I'd have probably gone for Mayfair, but as that's gone, it's got to be Park Lane.
Brilliant. And Christian?
I'm great. I get left with all the crap ones. I'll get the chance. Life's a bit of a gamble. Why not?
And Alex?
Go straight to jail, obviously, lock them up. Lock them up for
anything.
That's
the right answer. 100% the right answer. I approve. I've got so many questions. I'm struggling to choose them. There are so many.
Oh.
What's your favourite Greg's item? Big question.
Sausage roll.
Sausage roll from Alex. Rob?
Steak slice. Always a steak slice.
Oh, strong.
Nice. Christian?
Sausage, bean and cheese melt.
Nice. Chris?
Sausage roll. The only time I've been in the tube the entire time since I've been elected is to go to the Greggs at Westminster.
Nice. Love it. And Guy?
Sausage roll.
Andy?
I'm a cheese and onion slice man, although when they're hot, they don't half burn your mouth.
Did you guys try the vegan sausage roll when that came out?
No. Why'd you do that?
No.
Well, I tried one just to try it.
Communism.
You never get some
Go straight to jail.
I think it is a jailable offence. But do you know what? Surprisingly, not too bad. Tasted almost like a real sausage roll, but it just wasn't. So
yeah, where did you learn this hate speech?
It's the vegan steak bake, which
don't you have farmers in your constituency?
I do. There are many good farm shops, including Nitsley Grange, for example, which isn't in my patch actually, but it's bloody fantastic. So what are the questions? Okay, here's one that people have been asking me about quite a lot. So are you guys all willing to one by one say the phrase gay rights? It's this kind of iconic internet thing that is all over Twitter.
I don't mind saying gay rights, but I don't know the context.
No, I don't.
Oh my god, okay, don't worry about it. We'll come back to that and we can tweet about it later. Next one, out of the six of us, who is most likely to die first in the Hunger Games?
Oh, it's not me. I'm stood there at the end.
I'm one of the clumsy ones, so I would probably trip over down the escalator and kill myself that way.
I think I'd be the same as you, Christian. I'm incredibly clumsy.
Yeah, so I do something stupid, and that would be that. Yeah, for sure.
I would probably clean myself up or shoot myself.
So we're saying we'd all be absolutely useless when we put in.
I would be great. I would be great. Doesn't say. Well, if everyone else is going to die first, I'm the last one standing, so that's fine with me.
So Alex is the winner. Alex is the Hunger Games winner.
Chris questions that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we all question that, Alex.
So here's one to finish on. Do you guys enjoy being MPs? So I'm gonna go to Alex first. Do you enjoy the job?
It's incredibly rewarding. It's not like any job I've had before. I wouldn't even call it a job because it's 24 hours. It's intense. It's very different, but the level of support and help following my local community is unbelievable. I mean, the people of Rother Valley, it's been amazing, and yeah, it's amazing. I can't say anything else, but it's a great privilege as well.
Christian?
Yeah, I think the one telling moment for me was the Queen's speech, and being 4 people behind the speaker in the House of Lords, and thinking to myself, how the hell did a working class lad from East Lancashire get into the House of Lords to see the Queen speak? Couldn't hear her, but I'm sure it was a very good speech. But I think we all know what we do is a very serious role, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't enjoy it. I think it's thoroughly enjoyable. It's a very taxing role, but from where we've been previously to what we're actually achieving now is, highly rewarding. But I wouldn't be here without giving a shout out to Bury Conservatives or to my old friends from Lancaster University as well. But yeah, that's where I'm from. It's highly rewarding, and yeah, it's great.
Chris?
It's amazing. It's the best thing I've ever done. It's entirely different from what I expected, in a good way. If you've not done it, it's really hard to explain it. You'll know yourself, but you can just affect so much change in such a short amount of time for so many people. It's amazing.
Andy?
I think it is the most rewarding and occasionally the most frustrating job in the world. I cannot get over how you can really, really make a difference to people's lives by just having a conversation with them. And I'll give you an example. I'm sure all my colleagues will agree that at the moment we're getting more mail in our inbox than ever before. And often when they're people that are really having a tough time, really, really finding it difficult, if you pick up the phone and call them and have a conversation with them, you can change their day just by the fact that you've engaged and you've listened and you've tried to give some solutions. And when you can't necessarily fix everything, you can just be there for them and have a conversation, and that really makes a difference. And I think, adding on to what Christian said, when you get into Westminster and you look around and you think about the history of the place and you're part of that, God, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And Guy?
I think being a community champion is an amazing thing, and all of us come from different backgrounds. I'm a 4th generation immigrant. My grandfather was just old enough and survived long enough to say, I just never thought my grandson would go to the House of Commons. And your capacity to change the world, literally day by day, is phenomenal.
Yeah, I certainly don't think my great-grandfather, when he was in a Siberian gulag for not being a communist, thought he'd have a Conservative MP as a great-grandson.
Precisely. And Rob?
Before I start, I need to give a mention to a couple of future parliamentarians, Jonathan and Maisie, who are from the Welsh Youth Parliament, who are taking part tonight, who I'm sure have done an amazing job representing Wales. For me, do you enjoy it is an interesting question. My answer is slightly different to everybody else's. I'll go with coping. I found it to be the single hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It is, for me, consistently, intensely relentless, and it's hard, and it's a real challenge, and not as someone who was reasonably politically aware before, it's not what I thought it would be. Not in a bad way. It's just much more intense, much more non-stop, and as I said, relentless. But those times when you get some feedback from one of the government departments that you've managed to make a difference in someone's life, just one person's life, and then you write out to them and say, look, this is what we've done for you. Nothing else then is important. It's the most wonderful thing.
Dee, can I come in here? So I'd endorse everything that's said. I think the key thing, though, for Blue Beyond and everybody listening and watching this is it's a pipeline issue. You just listened to a story of a bunch of new MPs who, some of whom didn't even think about it until autumn of last year, and suddenly we've done an election, we've done Brexit, we're in the middle of a pandemic, we're making a difference literally every day to our local communities. But we are really short of good candidates. I cannot overstate this enough. And we're really short of good female candidates and BME as well. So if you are listening, watching, doing whatever you're doing via social media today, just get involved. Put your name down. Stand as a parish councillor. Stand as a county councillor. I cannot overstate the importance of that because our pipeline is really small.
Yeah, I mean, further to what Guy was saying, that was one of the biggest issues I was having whilst I was the area chairman, that people just kept on thinking, oh, so-and-so has had the role for 20 years. I couldn't challenge it. Well, no, if you think you can do a job, go for it. You have absolutely nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
It will be one of the best decisions you will ever make.
I agree. And I think one of the things that I've found very useful is being a local councillor and getting involved as a councillor and finding out that way. So if you are tempted by it, do put your name forward for the council, try that way and try and learn the ropes that way. And I think it's a very rewarding role to do as well. So even if you're not so sure about being an MP, try being a parish councillor, district councillor, a county councillor, borough councillor. It is very important.
I'd agree with that. I think it's hugely, hugely important.
Well, I've just been told that our guys are still marking, actually, because given the amazing number of people that we've had taking part, we've got time for more questions. Are you guys happy to keep going? We'll do more?
Bring it on.
Actually, should we have a brief interlude and hand over to Mr. Rob Roberts to perform his song, given how much money we've raised?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Definitely.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the Blue Beyond Digital Pub Quiz, I give you the one, the only Mr. Rob Roberts MP.
So, at the time that I had this idea, the donations were sitting at like £200. And I put it out there on Twitter because they were trying to drum up a bit more support. So I thought, let's see what we can do. And everyone likes to see an MP make a bit of a fool of themselves, and I can't imagine why.
Already, Rob. Come on.
Shut up, Christian. And I can't imagine why. You could make a better fool of yourself than for charity. So, Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. And that'll do.
Yeah.
And this is why we all love Rob Roberts, MD.
Here.
Okay, I'm going to do a music question then. So it's a question I'm going to steal from Guy from the Beyond the Bubble podcast. What's your isolation playlist? What have you guys got playing at the moment to keep you motivated? So Alex, I'm going to come to you first.
I'm a bit of a sort of metalhead myself, so a bit of sort of a metal. I'm a big fan of Sabaton, who are a battle metal band. And I saw them at Wembley in February, and they were amazing. And they got an album out last year, The Great War. So all their songs are themed around battles of the First World War. So check them out. They are great.
Who saw that coming?
And I did not. Andy, who's on your playlist?
Wow. Who saw that coming?
Okay, Andy, who's on your playlist?
Sorry, you probably don't know, but I spent 25 years working in radio, and one of the jobs that I had was as a program director choosing the songs. So I'm a bit of a one-hit wonder freak, and if you were to look through my music collection, there are some of the weirdest songs that you will find. So, if you're talking one-hit wonders, Strawberry Switchblade. In fact, we could have a bit of a music quiz here. Strawberry Switchblade. Anybody know what the number one was?
I don't know those Strawberry Switchblade.
Oh, come on! It's a great 80s hit since yesterday. Oh man, Tony Basil, Mickey. Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, Dex's Midnight Runners, Come on Eileen, all that sort of.
Eileen, now you're talking.
That's it, lots of cheese.
That's good. And Chris, who's on your playlist?
I'm pretty eclectic, but right now I'm listening to the Ministry of Sound's 80s funk playlist, which is absolutely sublime, and it's about 4 hours that you will definitely be glad of spending.
Christian? There's quite a lot of cheese in there, Chris.
There is no cheese in that.
Oh, there's a lot of cheese in the Ministry of Sound 80s playlist.
Yeah, pas de fromage.
Christian, what about you? What's on yours?
I'm also a bit of a metalhead. Today, I just decided to go random on Spotify, and it was interesting. But no, at the moment, it's very Five Finger Death Punch, Alter Bridge, also going slightly old school with a bit of Dio, and for slightly upbeat change, a bit of Led Zeppelin as well. So very kind of classic rock and metal.
Rob, what about you? Rob, I know you love your music, so who's on your playlist?
I have a very wide range of stuff, but just to be different to everybody else, if I had to choose a type of music to only ever listen to, I would listen to ballads forever. I'm really sorry. Please don't all throw up at once. Clarkson's looking very skeptical, but I could listen to ballads all day long. I have a very romantic soul.
Okay, and Guy, what about you?
Rudimental, Dexys I agree with, and I virtually every day am playing Taylor Swift Shake It Off.
Yes, I approve wholeheartedly with this. This is fantastic.
Have Metallica done a cover of that?
I think we could do that. We could do like an MP's charity.
We could
cover
do an
version
MP charity band. And the video would be amazing.
The video would be fantastic, actually. There we go, Guy. It is your job to get this organised.
Okay, so I guarantee the next quiz we will do in the great when we can socially distance to it. Well, we do a socially distanced video of 2 meters apart version.
I like this. Shaking it off 2 meters apart. Okay, so on the subject of videos, I know TikTok is becoming like the latest craze. Are any of you guys on TikTok? Do you intend to be? And have you been like looking at TikTok videos?
No.
I've got a 12-year-old that lives on TikTok, so I do know it exists, but I've not been on there.
So I asked. I've got a good story on this. So I asked the department. So I work in DWP. Can I go on TikTok because Twitter is crap. I do lots of social media, and I really think TikTok's a good idea. And government ministers are not allowed to go on TikTok. But I reckon as the constituency MP, I am allowed to go on TikTok. So I intend to do that in the next week or two.
That's brilliant. It's so addictive, though. You go on, you look at one video, and suddenly you're kind of an hour in. It's shocking way to waste time. And like on social media in general, how do you guys find interacting with
it? Don't come to me. I hate social.
Rob, we know that you like chatting to Piers Morgan over Twitter. So
the lovely Piers, my best buddy.
How are you finding that?
Well, look, the thing about social media, or anti-social media as it is that, and lots of my colleagues will disagree with me, and lots of them do disagree with me, and that's okay. But there's so many people who have a platform on social media, people who are in the public eye. To take Piers Morgan as an example, because we got into it last week. I think people, when they have a platform, have a responsibility to use that platform properly. And unfortunately, a lot of those people don't use that platform properly. And I don't think that it's acceptable that we just allow that to happen without calling them out. So I call them out, and they don't like it very much. And I don't think that people should be misled by people who are in the public eye who really should know better.
And what about the rest of you? If I just throw it open, how do you find social media now that you're in the public eye?
I think it's good. I think it's interesting because there's a lot of bad stuff in it, but it's also a great way to actually engage with constituents and people to actually throw things out. And I find personally Twitter is very easy for that because you can really engage on that personal level. People throw questions at you. Obviously, the amount of notifications you get, a lot of stuff is missed, but it's a great way of actually just a quick couple of sentence response to somebody. Pass them on, whether it's to a more detailed response by email, but actually just a quick yes/no answer or something like that. So I think it's a great way of engaging.
And what about you, Guy? Because I know, Guy, you're pretty good on social media. You do quite a lot of quite engaging videos and things. So, how do you find it?
The videos are key. So Twitter is a bubble thing. I hate to say it. It's a small cohort in your constituency, mainly political people, and that's about it. And David Cameron wasn't far wrong when he said too many tweets make us twat. And by and large, you've got to be in a situation that you realize that you're not going to convert people on Twitter. Facebook videos in particular, I did something like 50 videos in the election, and to different communities, different ways. That I think is absolutely massive. And I think if you're not doing, all over Facebook and you're all over video with a transcript, cutting in your images in the right way, I think you're really missing a trick. And you can then obviously localize it like mad. And that I think is a great way to get stuff out. I'm dubious about, I'm a DWP minister, so I get quite a lot of interesting notifications and comments, not all of which I engage with.
Mm-hmm. I think it's almost impossible to, isn't it? Sometimes the level of engagement is so high,
You can't engage. Instagram's a much happier place. I used to listen for many years. I wrote a blog virtually every single day of between 100 to 400 words on what we were doing in Westminster. And it was amazingly successful when I started. But then after a while, that just petered out because people didn't want detailed content. So unless you're going to do a really detailed once every month blog, they don't really work anymore. Everyone wants really short answers now.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's certainly a double-edged sword. It's a very effective means to actually communicate with people, but it also opens you up to a lot of flack. Now, I know for myself on Twitter, when I had my maiden speech, one of the best things for me to see was actually a 4-second video clip of my toddler at home watching me with a hand on the screen, and obviously that got something like 500,000 views, but that also got a hell of a lot of abuse. And so, she's not even 2, and you're using her as a weapon against me. And it was difficult to kind of differentiate between the personal attack and just random trolls. So there is a double-edged sword. You can certainly use it as a very powerful tool, and it can be, but it is difficult out there with a world of trolls at the moment.
And I would go to Rob's point about coping. So I've done this more than all of you guys. And if you're going to survive longer term, you have to ignore all the brickbats that come at you on Twitter in particular. And you just can't read your notifications. Now, you need to do is have someone read them for you and occasionally flag them to you. Because if you get into a situation where you take that stream of abuse on a long-term basis, you'll just never survive.
Yeah, so I've been told we've got about 10 more minutes before the marks are going to come in. So we'll do a little bit more. I want to know some of your stories from campaigning in the general election. What were your guys' funniest campaign stories? Because there's always some belters. So I'll let you jump in on this one. Whoever's got the best one first.
Polling day.
I don't know if this is the best one. My most embarrassing moment was having spent all day out campaigning. I think it was probably the most freezing cold day of the election campaign, thinking we were super organised, having a fantastic day out campaigning, and then getting a call from the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions at about 5 to 6 saying she was 10 minutes away and could she come campaigning with us. And I picked up what I thought was an absolute winner of a street where we could go and knock on doors and she would be blown away by how great the response was. And the sheet that I picked up was the worst sheet I have ever picked up. every single door we knocked on was just awful. And I think Therese drove away thinking these guys are a bunch of fools. So, yeah, my one tip is if the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions phones you up and says you're 10 minutes away, don't just pick up any sheet of paper.
For me, mine would be polling day. Now, we were pretty much Momentum's #1 target for the Northwest, being shipped in from Manchester, from Liverpool, and for anyone who was in the Target Seat WhatsApp group, the images I posted as to how many from Momentum for pretty much the last month of the campaign. It was daunting, whilst at the same time knowing that they were absolutely shocking at campaigning. But on polling day, campaigning isn't important; it's just turning people out. So you'd go from one street to the next, to the next, to the next, and see nothing but Momentum until I got to the Jewish community. And it was literally like Labour didn't even dare to actually go there. So not one person from Labour had been there all day. So I'm rocking up in my blue rosette, and cars were stopping in the middle of the street to jump out and have a hug and a selfie with me. I'd then be knocking on doors and I'd be invited in for a selfie with the kids. So, okay, it's a bit weird. But yeah, it's great. It's another way to get out there. And by the time I got to the next door neighbour, they'd already sent the photo from next door. So they wanted a picture with the kids as well. So I think in the space of 20 minutes, I've knocked on 4 doors. There's like, I don't mean to be rude, but I've quite a few doors to knock on now. So it was a really kind of surreal experience. And then we get to where I had on the maiden speech. So it was the day after the election. And literally going from getting a coffee to my car to have a Jewish lady with tears running down her face and saying, thank you, we were able to unpack our bags this morning. We don't need to leave. Now, I knew it was bad for the community. I didn't realise it was pack your bags and leave the country bag. Mm-hmm. So for me, that was probably one of the most rewarding, humbling and depressing experiences all in one that I've ever experienced. So whilst the campaign itself, for me, was enjoyable, for an entire community, it was can almost make or break.
Yeah. So what other campaign stories have we got?
I've got two. The first was a person who came up to me a couple of years ago and said to me, you're amazing. I went, that's really kind of you. Thanks very much. I didn't think I was that good, but I mean, And they went, and you're so funny. You don't quite look like you do on TV. And I went, I'm Guy Opperman. And he went, no, you're Michael McIntyre. That didn't go very well. And I suppose my favourite one was I took out a YC and a couple of elections ago, and we were doing a particular tricky estate and we'll all know these sort of particular estates where there was a strip of concrete for the drive and a rickety wooden gate and 2 strips of grass just either side of the strip of concrete. And so I opened the gate and I said to the bloke, all right, young lad, you just wait here and you just watch me what I do. So I went to the door, knocked the door, there's a bloke there, and I said, hi, my name is Guy Opperman, I'm your Conservative candidate for the coming election. He went, Tory, you're effing Tory. And he had in his hand a small Jack Russell. And at that moment, he then turned around and he threw the Jack Russell at me. And I could see this coming quite a while. So I turned around and I wasn't going to stick around. I was running. So I started running down this strip of narrow concrete. And I was saying to the young lad, open the gate, open the gate, open the gate. And he was wrestling with the gate. Of course, it was broken, like they're always broken, as you know. And so I'd love to say that I vaulted the gate with ease and no difficulty whatsoever. I didn't. I hit the gate at the top, fell over it, and crumpled in a heap the other side, and landed on the floor with this Jack Russell going, ow, 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 literally between me and the gate. And this young lad turned to this bloke who was still swearing at me and went, we'll put you down as a maybe, sir.
Brilliant. It sounds like a Hot Fuzz moment, you trying to vault the gates.
And it was not, listen, it was just a disaster. I'd love to say I was elegant. I was everything but.
And so one question that's like particularly relevant, I guess, to a lot of the people watching, given we've got a lot of youngsters and kind of new members, new volunteers, what tips would you give to young people who are interested in getting involved in politics? I mean, my tip is always just go for it and do it and get involved. But what would you guys say?
Just I remember actually reading an article, and it was about women getting involved in politics and how for a man they will decide pretty much there and then as to whether or not it's something they're going to do. But a woman will go away, think about ramifications, and it might take a week, by which point they've either decided against it, there's been something else to think about, and they don't get involved. For me, if anyone ever asks you, just jump in, both feet, and actually just make the best of it and enjoy it. Because yes, politics is a very serious world, but it's also a very fun world, and you will make some of the best friends you will ever know. I mean, me and Chris Clarkson go back 10, 12 years now.
Easy.
Just through campaigning in the party, and now we're neighbouring seats, and still good friends.
Which was actually pretty cool. I completely echo that. I mean, get stuck in. That's the main thing. Don't expect, somebody to give you a gilded invitation. Go and put yourself forward. Get involved. Be pushy. You will find, unfortunately, especially in local associations, there's an old guard who's been sat there for 20 or 30 years, and this is how we do it, and everybody's got to wait for us to tell you what to do. Ignore it. Just get stuck in. And, you've got a lot to offer. You've got an entirely different world perspective. You've got different ideas. Those are good things, because I'll tell you what, things are getting stale at the top, and the more young energy we can get into the party, the better. So really,
and those times are changing. Whereas before, you were young, you'd get given 2,000 leaflets, and your reward for delivering 2,000 leaflets was another 2,000 leaflets.
Yeah.
No, young people actually have more say now in the party than they ever have done.
2,000 leaflets, you are lucky. And we had the lick road clean with tongue first.
And Andy, I know we haven't heard from you for a little while. What tips would you give to young people who want to get involved?
I think you hit the nail on the head. Go and do it. Go and have go and throw yourself into whatever you can get involved with. I think the other thing I would say is, though, you will find people in your community that have done it, and they can tell you stories that will help you along the way. And I think it's really easy sometimes to dismiss things that have been done before, but you can sometimes shortcut and bypass having to learn and go through all kinds of difficult experiences if you have a quick conversation with somebody that you get on with, that will give you some advice. I know there are counsellors in every area who are not quite as crusty as you might think they are, that might be able to give you some tips on things to do and ways to do things. The big thing is about making things happen. And in politics, you've got to get on with people. And from time to time, there are really good conversations you can have that will help you bypass lots of difficult experiences.
And I think from my perspective, the most important thing to get involved in Conservative is have fun. Now, I got involved in party political Conservative through the University Conservatives. It was a group of like-minded people. We didn't, frankly, do much leafleting or canvassing at the time, but we were like-minded people. We had a bit of fun. We were Conservative politics. So know yourself, have fun, and then go to the leaflets, because, nothing more dispiriting. They said they gave a few thousand leaflets, told off to deliver something. You're not learning about yourself. You're not learning about why you're a Conservative. You're not learning about why you should be doing that. Anyone can deliver leaflets, but I really think you should get involved and speak to your friends and family and find out who you are first, develop that, and on that way, then you can go to the campaigning side. So really enjoy it. You see it as almost a journey of discovery about your own political beliefs and what you want, because you never know, you might think you're Conservative, but turn out actually you're more Lib Dem or more Labour person. Try and understand what you actually believe and what actually makes you tick first.
Be patient as well. So unfortunately, a lot of people get involved and think everything's going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
That from when I first got involved to when I first was elected as a councillor, that was 10 years. Now, obviously for me, it was waiting for my local seats to come available. But obviously get involved at any level you can, whether that's CPF, association politics, university society. Don't think there's any job too small, but don't expect it just to land on your lap and to be very lucky. Patience is a virtue, but really just do get involved.
Absolutely. So I just want to do a bit of an update on terms of how we're doing on marking. We're about 5 minutes away from the result now. We've had our little team of incredibly industrious hamsters in the background working through and marking those quizzes. And I've also got a few more people who I need to shout out to who've made some very generous donations. The first is Johnny Hazeldine. Johnny, thank you so much for your contribution. Luke Braithwaite as well. and Amelia Palmer. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And on that note, I've got a fundraising update. You ready for this? Can I get a drum roll from my colleagues? There we go. So we have raised £1,652 online, which is amazing. Absolutely
another
amazing.
20 quid and Rob will sing again.
Don't donate anymore.
Stop. We've got a really important job to do, guys. We've got to choose the best team name.
It's ours
by
a mile.
And I'm not going to lie, I do like your team name. So for those of you who don't know, who are watching back home, the team of MPs are the Backbench Quizness Committee, which I think is pretty good. And it made the long list.
Chris Clarkson, it's all Clarkson, it's all him.
It's brilliant. But I need your help because there are some incredibly good ones.
That's my autobiography, by the way.
So I'm going to take out my narcissism, and much as I like Delightful and Dehenna's Angels, there are some that have got slightly better wordplay in there. So my favourites at the moment are the Independent Quiz for Change, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed Quiz Trust, and probably my personal favourite, but I need your guys' input, the Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Leonici, which I quite enjoyed.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
We've also got EU Win Some and EU Lose Some, which I quite like.
Can I ask a question?
Mm.
I just need to check that there was no cheating going on, that the Independent Quiz for Change didn't swap their team members and use a different name halfway through, and there wasn't like 10 of them, and then suddenly there were only 4 of them, and then there were 12 of them, and
I don't know. We might have to get
and then they changed into a different team, and then went back.
I don't know where you've got that idea from, Rob. I don't know. I think you just come up with some crazy idea there, Rob. Nothing like that would ever happen.
And I think if the Independent Quiz for Change don't win, we should have a second quiz just to make sure.
Questions.
So what do we think? out of the 3 that I just mentioned, the 4 that I just mentioned there, what do we think, guys? Who are we giving the trophy to for best quiz name?
Leonici.
Yeah, that's a vote for Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny. What about the rest of you guys?
I'm with the
Quiz
Independent
Trust.
I'm going to go Independent Quiz for Change purely because they need to win something.
I'm leaning towards that one.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Okay, so we have our winners. Congratulations to the Independent Quiz for Change for having the best team name. Well done, guys. There are some absolute belters there, though. So let's see how we're doing. Let's see how far away we are from a result. A couple of minutes now. So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds each to say whatever you want. You can do a shout out. You can talk about, what you're working on. You can, wish the Prime Minister well. Let's go first to Alex. 30 seconds. What do you want to say?
Well, thanks all for taking part. It's great you keep these things going. It's great we keep the Conservative stuff going during times of quarantine. Most important thing, stay at home. Don't go out. Stay at home. Wash your hands.
And over to Guy.
Shake it off, clearly. This will end in the end, and the new beginning will be amazing.
Rob?
I need to say that, because no one else has said it yet, you've done an amazing job this evening.
Yeah.
I've got to say that it's been one of the most fun evenings I've had since last night, and I think you've done a fantastic job, and the whole team of Blue Beyond, Luke, and all of his team of people have done a first-class job, and to be able to raise over £1,600 for our wonderful NHS, I can't even say it, NHS charity has been an amazing effort. So thank you to everybody who donated and everyone who took part. Well done, everybody.
Brilliant. Chris?
Firstly, thank you to everybody who's participated. This is a hugely important thing. I mean, it's not just the fact we're raising money for the NHS. It's good to stay connected. It's good to look after your own mental health. You guys are the future of the party. We were the future once. We're here for now. But seriously, guys, get stuck in. It's so important. And also, a big shout out to our host, the amazing Dehenna Davison.
Thank you very much. Christian?
As always, awkward going last. Everyone's already said everything. Again, thanks, Dehenna, for hosting. It's been a very interesting and challenging quiz. I guess really what everyone wants to do is invite Rob to be a speaker at their association. Doing it publicly now, so it's difficult to say no. Although you will have to sing there as well.
I think Lancaster Uni are after speakers, so I've seen. So there you go. There's your first gig, Rob.
That's my old university, so of course I'll go back to that as well.
My wife went to Lancaster Uni. That's okay.
But yeah, for me, it's just great to kind of actually be back out and doing, the normal day job. Similar to yourself, Dehenna, I was self-isolating a couple of weeks ago. Now I had the depressing side that I was in my London flat without a TV and only one book. So that was not the best time. So just being able to be back in the north, back doing the actual day job, it's great. But I think what we all have to do is actually take this seriously. Like Alex said, it is about staying home. It is about protecting everyone else and helping everyone we can do, whether that's just doing someone's shopping or signing up if you haven't already as an NHS volunteer. Seriously, anything you can do to help your community. That is what conservatism is really about. So please do get involved.
And Andy, over to you.
Well, I want to say to the Warrington team that are playing tonight, well done, guys. Thank you for getting involved. And I've seen the growth, particularly in the Northwest, in younger people getting involved with conservatism. We went from, I think, a year ago having 10 members. We've now got about 40 young Conservative members, and that is just so important for our party. I mean, we've all said about the future being really, really critical for the party, and getting involved at an early age and really throwing yourself into it is really important. Come to Westminster, get in touch with your MP, come and have a look round the palace, see what it's about. If you go with your MP as well, you'll get to see what it's really like behind the scenes, and it is so fantastic. It's such a privilege to go there. So get involved, have fun, and be part of your community. That's really, really important. At times like this, people will remember when you came along and you did something good for them, and they'll pay you back in the future.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you for taking the time this evening, not just to take part in the amazing Blue Beyond quiz, but also to do this Q&A as well. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. And when we are eventually allowed back to socialise in Parliament, I will buy you a drink in the smoking room or in Strangers to make up for it. So thank you. And I've just been told
where all the cool kids are.
Then Strangers it will be. So I've just been told that we have got our results through. So I'm just waiting for those to be sent for me now. Oh no, not 100% finished. Oh, okay. Controversial. We've almost got our results through.
Jenna, I think we should just make it clear that the smoking room, you cannot smoke, because two people have asked me, can you smoke in the smoking room?
And you can't play chess in the chess room either.
But you can avoid journos in both.
Yes.
Just some of the incredibly weird quirks about...
Yeah, but you can't get a pint of ale, so...
Well, that's a ladies' drink, so...
Brilliant. Well, thank you, guys. You're amazing. And I'm just waiting to see what's happening. In the meantime, Carter is here and is nibbling my fingers and being incredibly cute. But I think I was going to do a top three.
I can't help it. I just get this urge every now and again,
So I'm just going to figure out what's happening. You guys just chat amongst yourselves for a minute. You guys are in charge for a little while.
Uh-oh.
So basically, everybody's come to Haywood and Middleton.
Where is Haywood and Middleton?
North Manchester.
It doesn't exist.
Oh,
it's that seat that's the same size as the borough that your seat's in.
True.
Okay, I think we were still waiting for a little bit, nearly there. But I'm going to ask you one more question. Outside of our little group, who is the MP in Parliament at the moment that you guys most admire and why? And it doesn't have to be a Tory. So I'm going to go to Guy first.
Okay. I think Paul Maynard is amazing as a Conservative MP. Incredible man. Represents probably the most deprived community and constituency in the country, and does a phenomenal job. In terms of Labour Party, Liz Kendall is always hilarious, always interesting. There's a lovely man from Chester called Chris Matheson, who I've spent a lot of time with on trips together. He's a decent Labour MP. There's very few Labour MPs who we genuinely fear and who float our boat. But in terms of the Conservative MPs, we've just got so many. We are a flush with talent, no question.
Rob, what about yourself?
So I found my one of the greatest people I have ever met in my life.
Thanks, Rob.
No, not you.
You're too kind. No, it's okay.
And I've got to say, one of the absolute most wonderful guys you could ever wish to meet, and you will all nod along when I say it, is the MP for Bolsover, Mark Fletcher.
Yeah, very sound guy.
And Mark Fletcher is an amazing guy and has been very, very helpful and a very, very good friend to me. In terms of opposition, Ben Lake from Plaid Cymru, the MP for Ceredigion, is a really lovely guy. We both had a trip with S4C to the Millennium Stadium to watch Wales versus Italy in the rugby, and we spent the day, and he's just a lovely, lovely guy. Ben Lake from the opposition. In terms of your question was, who do you admire from the opposition? It's hard, in a really weird way, it's hard not to admire Corbyn and McDonnell, because whatever has come their way, whatever has happened, and whatever ridicule and abuse they've taken, they've stuck to what they believed. And I really think that politics needs more people who have a stronger belief, and regardless of what anyone else says, they stick with their belief. And I think that's pretty powerful stuff. So I'll stick my neck out there and go with that one.
Might agree to disagree.
Have we still got Alex, or Alex, have you gone already?
No, I'm still here.
Lovely. I want to get you in very quickly, because I know you've got to go.
Yeah, I need to pop off. I need to have my dinner. So it's on the table the last half an hour, and it's getting quite cold. So I do apologise. On the MPs I respect, there's a lot of good talent we've got, and for the Conservative side, I used to work for Owen Paterson and Andrew Rosendale, so it'd be reminiscent for me to shout out to them, both what Owen did when he was DEFRA Secretary, and also you'll not find a more assiduous Conservative campaigner than Andrew Rosendale. He knows how to work constituency, and he's embedded so thoroughly, his MP for Romford, in his constituency, and he is Mr. Romford, and I think that is something, frankly, all MPs can aspire to when it comes to actually knowing their patch and actually being integral to it. So those are people I very much admire. I think when it comes to the Labour side, maybe I'm not so optimistic like some of my colleagues about the talent across the other benches, but there are definitely some people who are dedicated to what they believe in. I think like Liz Kendall is very, very good, so I think she cares. And even someone like Ed Miliband, I mean, he may not be the best Labour leader, but he does care about for his area, and is a genuinely nice person and does want to make decisions and do things for the better. He's not malicious at all, so I respect him for that. Anyway, I'm going to dash. Have a lovely rest of your quiz, and I'm sorry I'm not to hear that we'll win, but I'm sure Chris Clarkson will win it for the team, as he has done before. So thanks, guys.
We've actually now got our results, I've been told. Incredibly exciting. So I'm going to cut across you guys. Apologise to everyone back home for the delay in marking. We've had that many people. It's taken a lot longer to mark than we thought, but it's incredibly exciting. So I'm just going to announce first place. We've got joint winners of first place, and there will be a full leaderboard coming out tomorrow, so you can check how you've done against your mates and your mates' teams. So I've also just been told that one of the teams that came in joint second with 4 other teams, so 5 teams in joint second, was the Backbench Quizness Committee. So congratulations, everybody, for coming second. But as we know, when it comes to first past the post, second counts for nothing. So
Chris is a big fan of PR, so
we have 2 teams with 41 points who have taken the trophy. They're sharing the trophy, and our winners are Tories on Tour and Top Marks. So a huge well done to you guys. Thank you for taking part. We will be in touch tomorrow with some info about your prizes. So team captains, look out for messages. and there'll be a full leaderboard announced tomorrow as well. But really, that is just about it from me. I want to say a huge, huge thank you to everyone who has contributed, to my fellow colleagues for taking part tonight, for all of the Blue Beyond team, especially Luke and Josh, our tech guy, who's had it all working. But mainly to you guys at home for choosing on a Friday night in isolation not to be sat watching Netflix, but instead to be with us this evening, taking part in the Blue Beyond virtual quiz. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. And last thing I have to say is, you know what we all need to do. We're trying to save lives here. So whatever you do, stay at home, protect the NHS, save lives. Stay safe. God bless. Take care.